Okay. Well, that would explain that. That would explain that now, wouldn't it? God damn, man. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, my peoples. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. This is some bullshit. And this is the way this day has been going today. This is how this day has been going today. Now I'm going to tell y'all everything that I was saying while y'all couldn't hear a thing. So I'm just going to rewind everything that I was saying. This is the bullshit. This is the bullshit. Oh my goodness. Damn. My apologies, y'all. I'm going on and on and on and on. Let me tell y'all what I was talking about. I'm like, man, skip the intro, fuck all of that. We just gonna go forward from where we were. Today we're talking about having a personal war with yourself. That's what I've been yapping about probably for the last 10, 15 minutes or whatever, while the mic was definitely not on. Personal war with yourself. Now, what I was trying to say was, all right, so when you're going through a personal war with yourself, that can be a really hard thing to deal with because, as opposed to a war that's going on outside, where you have somebody that you can definitely point to as being the aggressor who started it or whatever. When you're going through a personal war with yourself, then you may not know who to blame. You might not know who to point to because something is going on within you, and you may or may not want to share that with other people. So that can be a hard thing to deal with for most people because it's like, well, who do you turn to when you have some personal problems going on with you, and you don't know if you can trust people with the information that you have about it? Maybe you don't even understand what's going on. And one of the hardest things to ever deal with in life is having to deal with a personal issue that you think only applies to you and only affects you. And you don't know if anybody else out there can help you, whether they've been through it or not. You don't know if you can talk to this person, that person, a friend over here. You don't know if y'all might get into an argument or some kind of disagreement one day, and they might throw that shit back up in your face, and that will start it might start the second wave of a war within yourself. It can be a tough situation. And when you are at war, think about what war is. When you really think about what war takes up all of your emotional, mental, and probably physical energy. Like you can't be at war and be at peace at the same time. When you're at war, you have to concentrate on keeping yourself safe, keeping everybody around you safe, keeping everybody alive. You can't lose all of your soldiers and win a war. It doesn't work that way. It will never work that way, and it never has. So when you talk about having a personal war within yourself, that means that you're fighting something that's going on inside of you, and you don't even have soldiers out there to help you assess the war, build up strategies, or win it in any kind of way. You look at like Gaza, or let me not disrespect. You look at Palestine, you look at the Palestinians, and you look at the Israelis. You can either say that the Palestinians started the war or have been continuing the war because they've been fighting since forever. Or you could say that the Israelis came in, took their land, and are the aggressor, and they killing babies and practicing genocide and all that kind of stuff. But with that situation, you can point to a definitive aggressor in that situation and decide who's right and who's wrong. You look at Ukraine and Russia. You can say that, listen, Putin and the Russians started this thing, they started these territorial pursuits all the way back in the earlier 2000s with Georgia and what was that other country that they were warring with to get back their territory that they owned in the USSR? It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Anyway, so you can look at Ukraine and say, well, yeah, Ukraine deserves the win or whatever. Whether you think that the United States should get involved or whatever, that's a whole different issue. But you can tell, or you can have an opinion on who started the war and what should be done to end the war or to bring peace. When you have something going on inside of yourself, who are you going to look to in order to bring peace? You know, first of all, you might not want nobody to know what's going on with you. Nicholas Connor said, "It's P. Diddy's fault." the Crimean Peninsula. Thank you, Crimea. Okay, all right, bro. Are you arguing over our game of Risk? No, it was Call of Duty. It was Call of Duty. We were playing zombies, and you sold me out. We were supposed to keep the zombies out of the house, and you didn't do your job. You know you got to get them in the head, and you didn't do it. And listen, I don't want to talk to you. Just playing around with you. Just playing around with you. Yo, when the sound wasn't on, I just want to thank y'all for holding on and hanging out, because this was a crazy thing. But this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm your host, Sun752. We do this show every day or whatever, if you've never been here. Today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show, we are talking about a personal war with yourself. A personal war with yourself. No, I'm not going to stand up and talk for the remainder of this thing. I'm going to pull over a seat and we can have this conversation. A personal war with yourself. What do you know? What do you know about a personal war? A personal war. I ain't talking about fighting nobody else. I'm not talking about arguing with your spouse, or your woman, your man, a friend of yours. I'm not talking about a disagreement that you had with people at work, co-workers and managers or supervisors or chairman or HR or any of that kind of stuff. But when we start talking about war takes up a whole lot of energy. CJ Hart says, may I call in? You absolutely may. You can call in right now. That's what the number is for. This is a totally uncensored show. You do not have to hold back on this show. We don't use words like unalived. We don't do that. We don't say self-delete. We don't do that. Unalive means kill. Okay. We got a caller on the line. Yeah, caller on the line. Let's see what's going on. Let's let the people shine.
You have a call from...
Caller, yo, you don't understand what I've gone through this afternoon to try to get this show up. This is a personal miracle. You know what I mean? A personal miracle. What's good? How you feeling today?
Yeah, because I came on earlier and I'm like, where is he at? So I've been flipping back and forth. So I came back now. I'm like, well, I don't know if it started, what's happening, but I'll just turn it on. What's happening? What's going on?
Well, hold on. Let me tell you what was going on. All right, so I woke up on time. Kinda. I woke up on time. Kinda. You know what I mean?
You have a call from Stacy.
Okay. So I woke up on time to do what I needed to do. But I got involved in this little pet project before things happened. You know what I mean? See, I got this brand new cool watch, and I had to take the links out of it in order to make it fit. So I figured, no, I can do this. I could do this like in 10 minutes and everything will be all right. Well, half an hour later, so that got that ball rolling. Other
Oh,
things,
let me go see. Did you show the watch? Hold on, let me get to the screen so I can see the screen. Now show me the watch. Let me see it.
you can see all in there. It's an electronic watch. What they call it? With your body makes the watch go or whatever. So, so
You know what? I didn't realize it was that much of a delay between us talking.
yeah, it is. It is like when I was
I'm just now seeing the watch.
when I was punching the air last night. You know what I mean? Y'all got it way late. But anyway,
Really?
yeah. So anyway, I hadn't had the show written up or anything like that. So it was just taking a lot of time. And then, the more I rushed, and this is why I know not to rush. The more I rushed, the more things started getting pushed back. So then I came up with the title of the show at the last minute. I was like, you know what? A personal war with yourself. So that's what we're talking about today. So I have to go with the hot hand of what I know about, and that's what we're talking about. A personal war with yourself. So
This is on time because I have one going on. So go ahead.
well, when it comes to a personal war with yourself, like I was explaining, first of all, then the mic was off. I'm speaking for about 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And not knowing that y'all couldn't hear a word I was saying. That shit was crazy. And of course, I was spitting that hot shit too. I was, but that's how fate would have it. But I'm not giving a war with yourself. When you are at war, you can't be at peace and be at war at the same time. A war takes up a lot of your it may take up all of your physical energy. It's going to take up a whole hell of a lot of your mental and emotional energy, because you have to strategize and you have to scheme for a way to be able to get an advantage on the war in the war. And your ultimate goal is to win the war, or at least get to a point where you're not fighting anymore. So hopefully between the two sides, y'all can work out something, but you really want to come out to be the winner. You're not looking for a mutual compromise necessarily. When you're at war, you're in an aggressive state. So you're trying to overpower the enemy. So what do you do when the enemy is inside of you? What do you do when the enemy is you? Who do you blame? Who started the war? Now, I was saying that sometimes...
Hey, wait a minute. I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm going to have to. I think you've stopped streaming.
No.
Yeah, my screen just stopped. And now it's back to, I guess, the beginning.
Well, refresh your joint, because I'm saying it's showing that I'm live, and then I'm watching myself on my screen, on my monitor, and I'm still going. Can everybody else hear?
Like, I hear you. Wait a minute, let me mute that.
8D said, oh, is that BD? BD said, pause. What do you do when the enemy is inside of you? No, ain't no pause. See, that's the kind of shit I don't like.
Okay, yeah, it's back.
That's the kind of shit I like. No disrespect to you, 8D, BD, but I don't say pause. I don't say pause and no Diddy and all of that shit. Listen. If your thoughts automatically go to some gay shit because the human language, or should I say the English language, is spoken a certain type of way, pause is not for me to say pause. It's for you to pause, because you have to ask yourself, why does your mind automatically go to some gay shit when you hear words that are spoken regularly? I mean, that's the question that you have to ask. I'm a 55-year-old man. Why should I ever have to say pause? Fuck out of here.
Especially when these are phrases we've been using for 50 plus years.
Dog, I said, what do you do? Who do you blame when the enemy is inside of you? And he talking about something, that's pause. Like, so you automatically thinking about a dick in your ass when you hear that? Like, come on, dog, I'm not the problem. You the problem, say.
Yeah,
you the problem.
not going to keep saying powerful words I've been saying since I've been on the planet and phrases I've been using since I've been on the planet. What kind of jackass would that make me? Negative.
And now look, now he's trying to change the narrative. He said, you just talked about an op being inside my cheeks. I didn't say nothing about no cheeks. That proves that you, sir, are thinking gaily. And that's not even a word. You are thinking gaily, sir, because I didn't say nothing about no goddamn cheeks. I didn't say that. You know what I mean? I don't even talk like that. Okay. Neil said, Black folks, read this groundbreaking and insightful book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews by the Nation of Islam. That's an old book. It came out in the 90s. And I hate to say this, but that book is ass. That book is boring as shit. You know what I mean? I used to roll with the Nation back in the day, but that book was ass. For real. That shit, ugh. I read the whole thing. It was grueling. It was grueling. But okay. So like I said, when the enemy is within you, who do you blame for that? You know, and it could be anything. You know, like we all have something about ourselves that we don't like. We all have something about ourselves that we are uncomfortable with. We all have unresolved issues that we may carry around probably from childhood all the way until adulthood that may have never been addressed. You know, and they could be feelings of inadequacy. They could be feelings of not being that smart. And that could have started when you was back in school. You know, why did I struggle with reading or math or things like that when other kids did it easily? You know what I mean? You never know where feelings of ineptitude may come from. But everybody has them. Not everybody deals with them the same way. Some people have support systems. Some people have support systems, but they don't utilize them or don't recognize them. So when I say a war within yourself, or should I say a private war with yourself, it's private because you don't feel comfortable telling anybody about it. That's why it's private. It's private because you don't want anybody else to know. It's private because it's personal. It's not happening with everybody. It's happening with you, just you. But is it really only happening with just you? You don't know, because you may not be comfortable with it enough to express it to anybody else except for yourself. And you may not know how to deal with it. You may not know how to deal with it. So that's what we're talking about today. So listen, for all my regular followers of the channel, sorry for being here late. We were supposed to be here 1:30. There was no way I was going to make it. I was staring down the barrel of lateness at 1 o'clock. Like, what? What's up? Yeah, I'm going to write this show up in 5 minutes and I'm going to be here. So it was ironic that I was fighting a personal war with time. And it might have just been me, or it might have been somebody else out there, but me is the only one that I could speak on because I was the only one that was here. But yeah, a personal war with yourself. Let's see. Aliza Link says, it doesn't matter what you say. Listen, this is a no censorship platform. You can say anything you want to say. You don't even have to be respectful. I'm just going to say some of the trolls that are in here, you are only really helping me with the algorithm. So I want to thank you for that. And I also want to say fuck you. So, thanks for, bringing attention to the channel, because I need that. And fuck you for being a dickhead. Now, the only rule that we have on this platform is that when you start being disrespectful or disruptive to other people in the chat, then I gotta get rid of you. That's all. You know what I mean? Other than that, you can do what you can do and say whatever you want to say. Oh, no, you can't say that. You just called me a monkey, so that's going to get you out of here. Yeah, that's going to that you can't do, and that won't be excused. So let me get you the fuck out of here. And yeah, you go bye-bye. It was all good. It was all good until the monkey thing. Monkey is not something that you can call anybody and it be funny. That ain't, we can't do that. And that's black or white. Like you can't play around with the word monkey. Like I might be able to call you a bitch or even a pussy and be playing around with you. Man, you act like a little pussy. You scared to talk to that girl. Or why you acting like a little bitch? Anybody, your big ass shouldn't be scared of no mouse. But a monkey, hold on. The word monkey is off limits. The monkey reference is off limits. All right, so I've told y'all enough about what we're talking about today. So we got my girl Kim's Wims on the line, and we got Stacy on the line. What's good? So what do y'all?
Oh, Stacey, I didn't know she was on here. Hey,
Yeah.
hello to everybody.
How you, everybody? You good?
Everybody's good. I'm good.
You good?
I'm good. Yeah.
All right. So what? What are your thoughts on this private war with yourself thing?
Okay, first I'm calling in to learn because I don't know everything about this enemy within self stuff.
Okay.
But I do know it's certain. I do have a support system, and I make sure that because my family is a little rocky. When something is going on with me, I do expose it because I don't want to be secluded. Sometimes I know about it, and sometimes I don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Something, when you warn against something and you don't know about it. And sometimes God will show me who to tell in my family and who I can't. Like, I can't tell my big cousin everything because we'll get into an argument and he'll throw it back up in my face. So I know it's certain things I can say to him and certain things I can't say to him.
Mm-hmm.
So then I have to go to somewhere else. But then I don't want everybody in my family, especially a female, to know all my business. So then I got to go to my friend and let my friend know what's going on with me. But I cannot stay quiet because Claire can't fix everything. You can't sit there and pray to God about everything. You got to expose that little thing that's going on with you.
Okay.
You got to expose it because that's what I believe. That's what's happening with my cousin, and he was just going through so much, and he's not here no more, and he's too young to be not here no more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to find out, but I do be warned. And when I know enough is enough, and I know exactly where the target is, because sometimes the target it really isn't inside of you. Sometimes it could be a person messing with you, and you gotta expose it.
Okay. Okay. Oh, no, hold on. Let me get this motherfucker out of here too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Get this bitch ass nigga out of here. These bitch ass niggas.
I don't know who the regulars are who's here right now, but hey, everybody.
Look,
All I can
we
see
just
is
going.
just a bunch of
Yeah,
trolls.
we gonna clean up a little bit. We gonna clean up a little bit. You know what I mean? We gonna clean up a lot. Certain people just give up too much. Oh my God, what the fuck? They take up all the air. They like weeds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For all the decent people in the chat, sorry about these trolls. They trolls are like mosquitoes. Like mosquitoes, they bite, they suck your blood, and they give you itchy bumps, but they also pollinate plants and flowers. So, they serve a certain thing, a certain purpose in the atmosphere, or should I say in nature. But they will irritate the shit out of you. So hold on. This dude cannot use this word. Let me get him the fuck out of here. Okay.
There's another one too. There's two more you need to remove. Hey Cheryl, I'm just now seeing that Shirley's in here. They are really taking up all the real estate in the chat.
Yeah. Damn. I
told Omar they asked you guys to got some in the bushes too.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him. Let me see. I think
I'll be seeing his content everywhere, and they don't even be in the chat.
All right. I think I might have cleaned them up. I think. Now the ones that were all the way here, all the way in the beginning, I don't even really care about them because they probably not here no more. But the ones that are active, let's do that. But I don't want to spend all day. Damn, I ain't got no admins today. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, where we at? I don't normally complain about that, but okay. So, Stacey. Yeah. So when we talk about a private war with yourself, like a private war with yourself could be a broken heart. It could be a physical ailment. You know, not everybody wants people to know that they're sick. You know what I mean? And when you know, if you're dealing with a physical ailment or a serious physical ailment, like that one that might be terminal or life changing, like let's say you were diagnosed. You know, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. You know, something interesting happened to me yesterday. I called an old coworker of mine yesterday just to see how they were doing. And they told me that a couple of years ago they were diagnosed with Parkinson's. You know, now Parkinson's won't necessarily kill you if you treat it right. You know, it can be treated. But you know, we all know Parkinson's from like Michael J. Fox and the late great Muhammad Ali and people like that. But so we know that it's a degenerative condition, and it's one that could really take over your life and dominate your physical structure if you let it go untreated. And because it deals with muscles and things like that, you could risk your life if you don't deal with it right. But one of the biggest problems with it is that because it's associated with the whole shakes thing and everything, a lot of people try to hide it. A lot of people try to dumb it down. They don't want people to know. So even though this thing may not be strong enough to kill them, it may be killing their spirit. So I'm only giving you this example because my man was real transparent with me and let me know what was going on with him. So I thought that was brave of him because that's not an easy thing to do, especially since I wasn't looking at him in the flesh. So he could have told me anything, you know, but I would imagine that when he first was diagnosed with it, he probably struggled with it a little bit. He may be better with it now, but there could have been a time where he probably felt some kind of way, like, damn, I'm being around here shaking and all of that and blah, 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 blah. He doesn't, and come to find out that he doesn't have the type that makes him shake, but he has the type that will cause a whole lot of balance issues for him. So he actually wound up having to retire from his job, you know, and they was trying to shit on him before he retired. So, you know, so that could have waged a little personal war with him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like who do I trust to tell what's going on with me? Will they be sensitive to it? Or will they try to tease me about it? Will will they be too sympathetic to it to the point where they get all emotional, like I'm dying? You know what I mean? Because not everybody can handle that. Not everybody can handle that.
I have to be brave enough and allow the spirit to show me who I can tell my business to. Because on my post, I always have a thing on my post where it says, it says, I'm disabled, but I don't look disabled. But you're ignorant, but you don't look ignorant. Something like that. It's me capping out on people because how they come at me. Because a lot of people be thinking that it's nothing wrong with her. It's nothing wrong with her. You don't know what's going on with me. So some people get online and they want sympathy, or they get online to make their money or whatnot. I don't want everybody to know my business, because that's not the outcome that I got when I was growing up. I got a bad outcome where everybody knowing my business.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I choose to tell who need to know and who I want them to know when it comes about me. Now, what I have is, my doggone body could turn on me, but I've been treating it real good, exercise, eating, taking my medicine. That's how I lost the weight. Everything's fine. Ain't nothing changed. I'm waiting on my remission. But it ain't for me to get out there and they want you to show your whole life. There are bullies out there, and then you really have to be strong. And I do have a war going on with me personally when it comes to my sickness, by able-bodied people, but they sick in their mind.
Yeah.
And come at me.
Okay. So when we say a private war with yourself, yeah, it is exactly what it says. It's private and it's with you. So even though other people may have contributed to you having to wage this war within yourself, this is all you. So what when you are going through something, when you're really going through something, and let's say, and this is just an example. Let's say you were going through a time in your life where you didn't feel like people liked you or supported you. Just as an example. And you don't feel like you're an unlikable person. You don't feel like you're somebody that people should tease or demean or avoid or anything like that. But let's say it's a time when you don't feel like people liked you for whatever reason, and you're becoming lonely because of it. That could be a war within yourself. One side of yourself may be telling you that, no, you're a good person. The problem is them. And then the other side might be saying, well, yeah, there's some things that we could do better. And maybe other people recognize that. And, maybe that's the reason I haven't made $1 million or some shit like that. You know what I mean? But it's a personal war. And I believe, and you can tell me whether you think this or not, I believe that anything that's serious going on on the inside will probably show itself on the outside eventually. You may not say what it is, but it might show. You understand what I mean? So like if a person really doesn't love themselves on the inside, they might not have to say it to anybody for it to show on the outside, because the way that they treat themselves or the way that they treat other people may be reflective of how they feel about themselves. What do you think about that?
Hello?
Yeah?
Okay. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, so you missed everything I just said?
Yeah, almost. Some of it I got. I just want to say something, and I'm not trying to be egotistic or anything like that. But my mother, I'm not gonna choke up. But I've been knowing that I was sickly ever since I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
I was born with my sickness.
Okay.
So I done been through hell and back. So I got the attitude, the way I carry my attitude. If you like me, that's good. If you don't like me, that's good too. As far as me loving myself, I love every bit and every part of me. That's why I'm still here, fighting for people that I know that love me. I'm not here just for half of my family is up there with God.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple more people down here and a few friends down here that I'm still serving God and still living for them. I'm not here just for me. So I
Okay.
can't be like, not love myself. But I don't like nobody else messing with me when I'm trying my best, getting up every day, showering. Even if I don't put my clothes on, I'm gonna get in that door. I'm gonna shower, smell good. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make myself look good. Not for no man, but for me, but also for him too. But for me, I love myself.
Okay.
And other people see that I love myself. And sometimes that's what triggers them because they might not love their self.
Okay.
And I'm leaving a mark on here, on this earth before I go. And I'm not going to go early. I'm going to go when God's ready for me to go. I plan on having longevity. Longevity for my family is 86. My grandmother lived to be 86. I hope I can live longer than that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let this sickness take me out, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna let the enemy within me take me out. I'm going to shout, call, or whatever. It's more than just friend. I can't wait on God all the time. I gotta have somebody to talk to.
No, no, I see what you're saying, but
Mhm.
so do you think it's possible to like everything about yourself?
You know, it's some things I don't like about myself. Some things I don't like fighting, and I don't like sometimes if I win a fight and I know I want to fight, I start crying because I won the fight. That's crazy.
I mean, maybe,
I mean, I don't like fighting. It's a lot of things I don't like doing. I'm trying to learn how to get my finances in order. I'm trying to not spend everything I get.
I understand that.
I don't like that about myself. There's a lot of things I don't like about myself.
Okay,
Do I have to tell the whole internet? And it's a place and a time to tell and show things.
I agree with that.
I mean, everybody don't need to know your business. It's just a place to talk to people. That's why I call in. I know it's not a real therapy show, but it helps talk it out and you can see what's going on with you.
I believe in self help, and I believe that regular people can help other regular people. You know what
Yes,
I mean? But
sure.
so well, the reason that I asked you that was this, and by the way, um, peace to you for being transparent about your personal journey or whatever, because you are it does take a certain amount of bravery to do that. Um,
Yeah.
so I want to thank you for that. But the reason that I asked you was, do you think it's possible to love everything about yourself? Because I think that some people think that you have to like everything about yourself in order to be functional. And and I
I
and I don't
Yeah,
think that
I love everything about myself. If that's the case, I wouldn't have went on a weight journey. And it wasn't just about me, the pain. I didn't like the way I was feeling. I didn't like the way I was looking. And I could have been looking good to the next person or the next,
yeah.
next girl or next male. Nothing wrong. But if I don't feel it and I don't see it, it's something wrong with me. I got to do something about it. It ain't about what the other people think. It's about what I think.
Yeah. Now I think that what you said is true. But the thing is, some people allow the things that they don't like about themselves to take center stage in their lives and suck up all the energy. And to me, that's like having a war with a private war within you. I mean, with yourself.
Yes,
You understand what I mean? And
yes, I
war takes up all of your energy. It
It
does
does.
because
It really does. I
you
was born the other day, and it just knocked the energy out of me, and that was kind of scary because it literally drained me.
Yeah. See the
It
thing.
literally drained me, and I knew I was worn the other day, and I'm like, and it's a certain dress that I wanted to wear, and I was like, I'm not wearing this. I don't care. I'm not wearing this. I end up putting something else on. But what I was going through, I was worn with myself, and it's I don't like nothing that take energy out of me. I don't even like crying. They say crying is supposed to be good for you, but I don't like crying.
It's good for you. It's a cleansing thing, but yeah, of course, it's going to depend on what you're crying for. You know what I mean? Like
It's
what
no crying.
one thing I've learned about crying is that it doesn't it doesn't really fix a situation, but everything can't be. Not everything can be fixed right there on the spot. You understand what I mean? It's just like if
Yeah.
your car breaks down, if it's a minor repair, maybe somebody can come along and fix the car right then and there with roadside assistance. But if it's a serious issue, you're going to have to take the car to the shop, and it may take a while before you can, fix the issue and be back on the road again. But yeah, I was asking, but some people think that everything about them has to be perfect or functional or working in the best way possible without understanding that there may be a process to getting to the good mental or emotional space that you need to be in. You understand what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay to not like everything about yourself. It's also okay to work on those things. And it's
Hmm.
also okay to feel okay until you can make the things that ain't okay okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
So
And I'm gonna get that saving money done. I don't care. I done fell twice since I done said I was going on a challenge since 2 months ago, but I ain't gonna give up.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would encourage anybody never to give up on something that they really think is important. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
There are different ways to live out here. There are different ways
Hmm.
to live. There's a difference between living and being alive. Being
Yeah.
alive just means that your body functions are 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 functioning. They're
Hmm.
doing what they're supposed to do. But living
Yeah.
means that you are actually breathing life into something else that may not have enough life, and you are receiving life from others so that you can have a better life for yourself. So there's nothing wrong with striving to get to a point where you are more comfortable, where you are happier, and where things are better for you on a
Yeah.
consistent basis. I think that there are times when we believe in the negative too much without even submitting to it. Like we, how you'll hear that good. We'll say things like good always triumphs over evil, but in our daily practices, we don't really show that we believe that because we believe that the bad guys always are the lucky ones. They always
You
getting
know,
over. They always getting by.
I know you say that. I know you say that, but that's like I said, 3 strikes, and that's my motto. I usually say 3 strikes, and I'm done. I always believe in good always win over evil. I don't. That's not just in the movies, but that's my way of thinking, and I'm going to continue to. That's just my belief and my opinion. I believe good always. It seems like evil is winning, but they're not. And I always believe that good is always going to overcome evil, and the truth is always going to prevail.
Yeah, the thing
You know,
about the thing about evil doing well is that they always get the attention of the good people. But
yeah, I try not. Yeah, I just look at them and be like, yeah, you sure? I'll be like, you sure God blessing you? That could be my stuff.
mm,
Because it says the wealth is laid up for the wicked.
right.
I mean, for the righteous is laid the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous, and it's going to be a transfer. So and you ain't living right.
Yeah.
That's
So
if you ain't doing all right by God.
hmm yeah. So Kim,
I try my best not to look at that, and I try to stay focused. And I don't like those having wars and stuff within. And when you have a bad day, like you said you was having today or whatnot, just rebuke it and know that something good is coming.
Yeah,
It got to be something good.
I wasn't really having a bad day. I was having some challenges. I was having some challenges, and I knew
Yeah,
I had to get past them.
I have challenges all the time, especially in this body. You know, dropping stuff and you trying to do right, and Murphy's law try to kick in. You have to rebuke it and keep going, keep going. So yeah, I think he's trying my patience.
Yeah.
Yeah, you especially when you've been the only one and stuff, and you ask God to what that you ask God for patience. Oh, you pray for that. Oh, he go show you. He gonna give you that. He gonna answer that prayer for you. You have to be patient. But my
Mm.
mother did everything with ease, and just seemed like whenever stuff was going on with her, she didn't cuss, she didn't fuss. I was like, that's so funny. I'd be cussing and fussing every time something happened to me. I'd be frustrated, but I never seen that from her. I swear to God, I never seen her get frustrated. She, I could see it on her face, but I never heard it coming out of her mouth in front of me.
Yeah.
I'd be cussing and everything else.
All right, hold on a second. Kim,
Yes.
what are your feelings on what we talking about, this whole private, fighting a private war?
So one thing that really stood out is when you mentioned how a private war can drain you, make you exhausted and tired. My current internal war I can feel it pulling on my heart. The result, I can feel pulling on my heart, and not in a good way, a very bad way, because I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I'm not sleeping.
Mm.
So, and when you're not sleeping, that means your heart is not resetting, your body's not resetting, and it's a lot of strain on your heart, and I could feel it.
Yeah.
So, let's just talk about the war.
Okay.
Because I'm very apprehensive as to who I tell about it in my personal circle, because I told one person at first, and they just cannot believe how I'm responding, and I don't understand why they think I'm joking when I say it, and their only answer is, "You're so mean that I can't take you seriously." And I'm just like, I cannot, what kind of jackass are you? And why would you, the fuck is wrong with you? So anyway, so I've only told one other person, and that person has a understanding that I can't believe they understand. So this internal war started with the incident from last week, the bat in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So for our loved ones in this group, I called son, was it 30 minutes before last week's show, because he's the only male I could think of who was awake, or the only one I could reach, who could give me an answer about getting a bat out of the house. And the conversation started off with me asking the question, and then a total meltdown. And all son could say is, "Yo, you gotta calm down. Yo, you gotta calm down. You're not gonna be able to get it. You gotta calm down." And so after I finally calmed down, I was like, okay, let me go get this bat out of the house. And I did different things. It resulted in a broken window and torn up blind. But I was able to kill the bat.
Okay.
And somewhere in there, I was able to see this little bitty face, and I saw the bat take its wings and fold them in to try to protect itself. And I'm like, I just didn't expect to see that. And for whatever reason, that has stayed with me.
Yo, so you had sympathy for Okay. You know what? So did you feel some kind of way like now he was the victim?
Yep.
I've
Like
been
I
through
found
that.
myself.
I've been through that. Go
Huh?
ahead. I've been through that. Go ahead. I'm going to tell you mine after when you're finished. Go ahead.
Okay. I found myself praying and asking God for forgiveness for killing one of God's creatures. And it has stayed with me in a way I can't explain. So, of course, I told the first person, and they're like, oh, you just so mean, and I just can't believe you're that sensitive. So I'm not talking to that person right now because fuck you. But the other person I told, they were like, you have had a problem with death for a while now. That's why you can't attend funerals. You had a real problem with death. Do you think that's part of it? Do you think it's deeper than you realize? And I wonder because I haven't slept since last weekend. I haven't slept since the incident. Two reasons. One, because it was a bat in the house, and to me that means there's 1,000 bats in the house somewhere. And even though people have been here to look, I still can't get past it. And every sound outside is a bat. And secondly, I can't get that look. I can't stop seeing that. And that's something that's been going on for a while. That's why I don't attend funerals. The last funeral I went to, I could not get it. I couldn't sleep after that because I couldn't see anything past it. And now I can't see anything past this bat and the death of this bat. And it really has disturbed me. Like, it bothers me very deep. It's a war I have within myself because now I can't sleep because of it. And of course it's affecting my health. With no sleep in a week, it's affecting my health. I can feel the drain on my heart. So I catch a nap here and there, but it's not enough. It's affecting my health where I'm not eating right, not hydrating correctly, not sleeping. I'm not doing any of the things I normally would do because of this one incident. So it is an internal battle that I'm like, what the fuck is happening to me? And even 2 days ago, I was like, how can I talk to God better? Because we're not connecting. Because God is not hearing this struggle I'm having. Because I got to get some sleep. Because I'm not going to wake up one day if I don't. That's where I'm at with it. So it's avalanche into a bigger issue or something more that's fucking my brain and making it harder for me to sleep and harder for me to do the things I need to do to function well. So there's that. Now, tell me how you felt after that bad incident with you.
Okay, so I know what it's like to have to take the life of an animal and feel bad about it, even though the animal had to go. You know what I'm saying? So years ago, this was years and years ago. There was a in my backyard in the trash can. There was a possum in the trash can. Now I don't like possums, and I really just don't like possums because they're ugly. You know what I mean? I didn't know a whole lot about them or whatever, but the first time I ever came face to face with a possum was when I was in college, and I was walking home, and me and this possum was face to face, and all I could think was, God damn, you are an ugly animal. I didn't realize that that possums weren't dangerous or whatever. Anyway, so years later, this was like in the early 2000s. In the early 2000s, maybe this was 2000, let's call it 2003, 2004, or some shit like that. And I saw this possum in my trash can. Scared the shit out of me. You know what I mean? You go in the backyard I don't even remember what I was going to the backyard for, but I saw the damn possum. I'm like, oh shit, goddamn possum. So I got mad at the possum. And I go upstairs and I get my gun and I'm going to shoot the possum. But I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't want to shoot the possum up close because I don't want to get possum blood splattered all over me or whatever. This ain't the movies where you kill things clean. So I go upstairs in my back window and I'm shooting at the possum. So I had pretty good aim. I shot the possum and I knew I hit him. So the possum just moves to the side and I'm seeing the possum like clean, like lick himself and clean. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm trying to aim for the head, like take the possum out. But I'm missing. I keep hitting the body. Bow, bow. And I didn't get it on the head. And I said, so as I see the possum keep cleaning himself, I don't know what licking himself. I'm like, well, what the hell's going on? So I go back downstairs and go in the backyard and I look in the trash can and I see the possum went in the trash can to have her babies.
Oh.
So now I'm like when I say all my anger, all my hate for possums said, like it took it. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't want to take out a mom. So then, so I kicked the trash can over and the possum scurried out of the trash can with the babies on her back and climbed up the gate and I don't know what happened to the possum. Come to find out later on, somebody told me that possums clean themselves like cats clean themselves, but they have this thing in their tongue that can actually repair their wounds.
Antiseptic, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, so like it fucked me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was going hard. I was going ham on the damn possum until I saw that the possum was a female possum that went in the trash can to give birth. And then now I'm feeling like, damn, this possum ain't never do nothing to me. Why did I shoot? See, they say that people don't kill people. I mean, guns don't kill people. People kill people, but they do it with guns. So anyway, so I understand how you felt or might have felt when you saw that bat try to protect himself, because it's a natural thing in nature for somebody to try to preserve their life. Nobody just when you see a roach, if you see a roach, you turn on the lights in the middle of the night, you see a roach on the wall. That roach don't just stay there like, yo, you got me. Yo, he's gonna run or she's gonna run. So if you are a decent person,
funny that comparison.
yeah, because if you're a decent person, taking a life is going to affect you in a certain type of way, regardless of whether it's an animal or a person. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, yeah, if you're a decent person, yeah, it's going to affect you.
It is. And that's proof that you have compassion. That's proof that your heart is working in the right direction. You're not a Grinch. You know what I mean? But now comes the guilt part. Like, what do I do now? You know what I'm saying? Like that possum may have gone and licked itself back to health and spawned many a possum afterwards. Or it could have succumbed to his wounds somewhere else. But
I was asked that question too by the second person I told. She was like, do you feel that way if you kill like a mosquito or an ant or something? I'm like, no. She's like, do you think because you saw a face, you could see a face? Is that what makes it different? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because this is a mammal, you know what I mean? Like me, it bleeds and breathes like me, even though bugs do as well. They're so tiny, I can't see a face. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it was just seeing that face and the bat defending itself. That's what I see at night. That's what I see when I close my eyes. And it's not the same with a bug. And it probably should be, but it's not. And listen, I've had to pull a gun on an intruder before. And after it was all said and done, it didn't sit well with me. Like, I remember we had a older gentleman here who shot and killed somebody who was breaking into his home. And of course, everyone, he had to protect himself, blah, 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 blah. He did all the things, and, I had to protect myself. When they came back and spoke to him a few days later, that man broke down. He had a very tough time with taking the life of someone, even though with him needing to protect himself and protect his home, he still had a tough time with taking a life. And that is a different kind of, I agree, if you're a decent person, it may cause an internal battle. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. So.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this. Just know that it's not all your fault that the bat had to go, or anybody else in this world. This thing is a cycle, and our time will be up eventually. All of us, none of us are going to survive this world alive. None of us will see history in hundreds of years or whatever. And it's always going to make us sad when certain people that we care about or just know about or think about when they meet their fate earlier than we do. But just know that there's a lesson in every life. There's a lesson in every life. So when we talk about a private war with yourself, a lot of times that comes out of our inability to understand that life is a cycle and that life can and will go on without other people that we have in it, that we had in it, that we consider to have been helping us to sustain our good portion of our lives. But you have to learn how to forgive yourself even for things that you didn't do. Learning to forgive yourself is one way that you can finally declare peace with the war within yourself. Guilt is definitely a war that's private for a lot of people. You would be shocked at the things people feel guilty about. So just like you were talking about the bat, people who don't know you may not know that you're running around here, and don't take this the wrong way, but that you're running around here, feeling bad about killing a bat. You know what I mean? You have to do what's necessary to protect yourself. Animals out in the world don't have to deal with guilt. Lions don't cry over eating a horse, or should I say a zebra, or a gazelle, or any of that. They feel no guilt because they like, you have to die so that my babies and myself can live. So there's no boo-hooing over that. We don't understand that in the human realm, even though we practice it every day. But because of the hypocrisy that we display towards nature, we put ourselves in a precarious position to harbor the guilt that we shouldn't be feeling sometimes. Now, there a little bit of guilt can be cleansing because it can help you to do better next time. Like, I've known parents who were abusive when their children were younger or whatever, and maybe they stopped, or maybe they were very abusive with their first set of children, and maybe they came up out of it with the next with the children that they had later on. Mm-hmm. So, but they still had to, at least they got to the point where they knew that they were wrong. Because anytime that somebody is abusive, it's because something is going on inside of them that they're not able to deal with. So unfortunately, psychologically, they inflict pain on others when they can't stop the pain going on inside of them. And I'm not saying that to excuse any abuser. Fuck abusers. However, we have to understand. We have to understand, because if we don't understand, then we'll never get to the answers that we need. And we need answers. We are seeking clarity. So yeah, the bat had to go. The bat had to go. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Hey. You know, I wrote something in the chat that even though it's elementary, it's not a big a bombshell or anything like that. But you can't be fearful and be comfortable at the same time. And people try to do that shit. They're afraid to go outside. They think that somebody's going to hurt them. They think that somebody's going to assault them. They think that somebody is going to treat them bad. But they know they have to go outside. So they try to put on a good face as if they are not fearful for going outside. I mean, they're not fearful to go outside. So you can't get comfortable and then be scared of shit, even in your own home. Like I said, that bat, maybe unwillingly or unknowingly, he invaded your comfortable space. He had to go. You know what I mean? Because you can't.
He was trespassing. He would have been gone.
Hey, you know, a lot of people are afraid of bats. Bats have a bad name.
And I'm one of them.
They got a bad name in the movies, you know, this Dracula shit. You know what I mean? You know, and even though we know things are just movies, we don't always practice or conduct ourselves like we really understand. You know, because we do know that bats. What do we really know about bats? Because from what I learned about bats.
I'm glad you saying what you're saying. I'm glad you're saying what you're saying out loud. Because I have got to tell these people in the chat what you said to me when I first started crying. T. Carey, Cheryl Stacy.
First of all.
Son said to me, that old Dracula shit is not real. And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Does he think I think the bat is going to turn into Dracula? I was worried about rabies. He says to me that Dracula shit's not real. I'm like, what are you talking about? In between tears, I'm like, what is he saying to me? Did he just meet me? What are you talking about?
Let me ask y'all something. Wait a minute. Let me ask y'all something. If a friend of yours that's 700 miles away or so, 600 or 700 miles away, you know, calls you to ask your advice on how to get a bat out of her house because she is tripping and going off and having a meltdown, what are you going to tell her? What are you going? Are you going to try?
Why did you go to Dracula? Why did you go to the movies first? Why?
First of all, you
think my concern was turning into a vampire.
Hey, listen. There are people who believe that. Look, if there's still people who believe that black cats are bad luck, you know what I'm saying? You think there are people who honestly believe that a bat, you know what I mean, can turn into a blood-sucking human being? You know what I'm saying? I was trying to help. I was trying to help. It wasn't like you. Listen, I'm coming home from work. I'm thinking she calling about the show. Like, yo, every now and then she reach out like, yo, I got a show idea. You know, you should do this. Blah blah blah. I'm thinking like, oh, Kim is calling. She called me having a straight meltdown. I'm like, oh shit, she's fucked up. You know what I mean? Yo, she was doing bad at the time. Only reason y'all know about it now because she brought it up. I wasn't gonna tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? I kept that in the tuck. You know what I'm saying? What can I do? I'm 600, 700. I don't know how far is Indianapolis from Philly. I ain't nothing I can do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to give it a good word. That's all I can do. I'm trying to give it a good word. Like, and so far,
I was like, what?
So far, the only people I know who ever got rabies got it from a dog. No bats, no squirrels, no nothing else out there. Do I know that people got rabies from? So I was just trying to I was trying to help, man. I don't want to see. I don't want to see nobody be hurt.
And that's what he said, Kim. No one has ever died from rabies. And I'm like, I just saw it on the news that somebody got rabies from a bat and died. What are you saying? That's a bird, isn't it?
What'd you say, Stacy?
A bat is not a bird, right?
Yes, it is. It is a bird.
Oh,
see,
shit.
see, we don't know enough about bats. You know what? Fuck that. Let me look up the benefits of bats. How do bats contribute to our?
They eat bugs. They're attractive. They eat bugs.
Okay.
But see, we have a lot of people in my urban neighborhood who have bat sanctuaries around here because they think that would help with the mosquito population because we have mosquitoes who are testing positive for West Nile. So they thought, let's do bat colonies. And I'm like, so how do we get rid of the bats? Do we start getting lions? Like, what are you thinking, people? So, yay.
Wait a minute. How do bats contribute to nature?
They bugs.
Okay. Bats contribute to nature by acting as crucial pollinators, helping to disperse the seeds of various plants and providing natural pest control by consuming vast amount of insects. These roles support biodiversity, ensure healthy ecosystems, and provide direct benefits to human agriculture by reducing crop damage and the need for chemical pesticides. So, okay. Agricultural benefits by consuming these pests. Bats save the U.S. agriculture industry billions of dollars annually, reducing the need for chemical pesticides and supporting healthier ecosystems. Pollination, night blooming plants. Many plants, including cacti, agave, and important food crops like bananas, mangoes, and avocados rely on bats for pollination, especially in tropical and subtropical regions. All right, now, let me see. Look at this. Somebody asked, could we live without bats? They've been vilified in various media, and after all, they are the natural reservoirs of several infectious diseases like SARS and the Nipah virus. That said, we truly could not function without them. We need bats.
No, we don't. We don't need vampires. We don't need.
But you know,
the blood of Jesus is right in my apartment. No, we don't.
Listen, God did not say that you had to like all animals, but every animal has a purpose, and we could not live if we had no bats. Now, you might not be able to live if you have too many bats, but we cannot eliminate bats. Now let me see.
Well, here in some states, it's illegal to remove them on your own, and I live in a state where we are not allowed to remove them ourselves.
We
have to call someone to remove them. It's illegal to kill them here, basically.
Well,
to kill a colony,
and those
it's illegal to kill a colony.
Those Midwestern states, y'all mosquitoes is off the chain. I ain't never seen. Y'all
already know.
Yo, that shit is crazy. So anything that will eliminate mosquitoes is a friend of mine. So when I do a show next week called My Friend the Bat, just know that it was born out of this show.
Oh, I know bats. I can't stand bats.
Man, when was the last time you had a meeting with a bat?
When I was younger, I got lost in a haunted house, and there was swarms of bats in that haunted house. And my so-called friend, he was a male, and he left me, and I ended up with a bunch of white people. I didn't know where I was going.
Wait a minute.
Haunted house?
You mean real bad? You mean real bad?
No,
like a real
no, it wasn't no goddamn real bat. You know what that shit was?
We got in a cave or something? What the hell?
She said a haunted house. She was at the damn carnival.
It was on Halloween. That used to be my favorite holiday. It was on Halloween, And there was a lot of stuff in that house. I don't know if it was real. All I know if I seen one and I got lost.
She said a haunted house, and it was Halloween. It wasn't no
Well,
goddamn bat.
we've had people who did a haunted house in a cave here, and they didn't realize there were real bats there. So that's why I'm asking. We had some dummy
You know
who
what?
opened up a haunted house in a cave and didn't realize that there were actual bats in the cave. Like a dumbass. So
You know, if I was you, I'd go get me some olive oil and bless it and anoint my doors and pray over my doors and ask God to keep me. Because I'm swinging.
Bats, 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 bats.
Over that oil yourself, you don't need no dog.
Bat, bat.
And out your windows.
Y'all got it. Y'all
and
got
that's
it.
the other thing someone said. He said, "Don't you have a cat?" I'm like, "Yes, but I don't want my cat to get rabies."
She didn't want the cat to attack the bat.
That's why I want
Do y'all understand? Do y'all understand why I felt like I was in a losing position? I'm like, wait, hold on. Let me get this. Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. So you got this vampire bat, this evil bat, this evil rabid, invasive bat in your house, and you telling the cat, no, you know, I got you. I'm fucked up over here, but I got O on the phone, and he's gonna help me. But no, you just stay over there, clean yourself, purr, whatever. Don't even look at the bat. Because I need you. I need you, my furry friend. I need you to stay alive. I'll handle the bat over here. Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. This bat fucking bad. I can't. I called my son. I called my ex. I answered the phone. I got to go to the bathroom.
I did. Look, I am not gonna lie. He's telling the truth. I just broke it. I started off real calm in the conversation, and baby, 2 minutes in, I was a blubbering mess. I was like, I call my buddy, why answer? I call my daddy, why answer? My brothers, and I answer. I had a total meltdown because I could not get my shit together.
When other people have said that somebody was melting down, I'm like, you know, yeah, whatever. Like sometimes you have to be shown evidence, physical evidence. I was like, now this is a fucking meltdown. I wasn't the same after that. I was like, what the fuck? She ain't gonna make.
And then I called the show 30 minutes later, like nothing happened.
That's the way, you know what? That's the way anxiety works too. Anxiety works just like that. Right before your eyes.
Man, that shit, that was an eye-opening experience. I said the fuck ever been through no shit like that again. But I'm just glad you made it through it. But yeah, as far as
I haven't. That's the bad part.
Well,
I haven't.
Well,
I haven't made it through it because now it's my personal inner turmoil, and now it's affecting my health. You know what I'm saying? Like I am exhausted beyond belief. I'm not functioning well because of that one incident. But I think it's attached to a bigger incident. I believe my friend was onto something when she said, you have an issue with death, and do you think it's tied to this? Do you think this is the reason why you're taking this so harshly? And I agree, it might be a connection there somewhere. Yes, I do believe, yes, I'm a decent person. And of course, just the effect of seeing another creature, another mammal react in a way to protect itself because it knew its life was coming to an end. Of course, that plays a part in it. I mean, it should with anybody who has any morals or humanity about themselves. But I believe it's the bigger picture in there somewhere because I do not deal with death well, which is insane because I'm always the person who prepares all the obituaries for my loved ones and strangers too, because we do it for funeral homes. And I don't know if it's because I've consumed so much of that, especially during the pandemic. I consumed so much of it, and it didn't bother me as much then because I was like, we just got to get through this. We got to get through this. We're going to get through this. But now I think about each one. Now I look back on each person, and I'm starting to tally up how many lives, how many people. Now it's starting to sit inside me. And it's years later, but it's eating me every day. It is taking a piece of my spirit every day. And I don't know how to make it now. And that's what I see when I close my eyes. I see every word, every name, every picture. I see it all over and over and over and over like a constant movie that won't stop. So I believe my friend was onto something when she's saying you have an issue with death, and there is a bigger picture that's there, and that is my internal struggle that a lot of people don't know. My cousin said something to me the other day. She's like, "Oh, how you doing? Blah 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 da da da." And I said, "You know what? I do a good job of masking that I'm not okay." And she's like, "Oh, girl, we all not okay." And then she gives this little blah 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 and moves on. And I'm thinking, you didn't hear me, cousin, what I just said to you. You really didn't hear it. And that's because everybody is stuck on this. You're the rock. You're the strong one. You're the one we can turn to. And I'm like, do you guys understand that you are breaking me down? Like, really, you all are breaking me down in a way I can't begin to explain. And when I burst out, everybody is going to feel a certain way. And Kim is so mean, and it's not that I'm mean. It's just that I've consumed more than I can take now. Like they say, God doesn't put more on you than you can handle. And that's why I say God is not hearing me right now, because I believe I am at this, I'm spilling over with too much of everybody else's shit now. And I don't have anybody to help me dig out of it right now, because I believe it is consuming me more than I can handle at this point. And maybe it's not. Maybe it looks like it's not. Maybe it feels like it's not to everybody else. And maybe it just feels like it is to me in a moment. But I don't know. That's my internal battle.
Well, I think you know yourself, pretty well. But do you think that it's abnormal to have issues with death?
I don't think it's abnormal. But I think it's abnormal to consume it so much. I take that back because I really don't know what a mortician goes through. But to me, they seem strong because they deal with that on a consistent basis. And it seems not to bother them. Like, I have a friend who is a mortician, and he just moves through life like it doesn't bother him. So when I'm looking at him, I'm thinking he's good. So it's not bothering him, and maybe it is, but he feels like this is something I have to do. This is a job. This is my line of work that I've chosen, so I have to do it. But maybe internally it's bothered him. So it's I believe to have death is abnormal, in my opinion. I believe there are parts of it or aspects of it we should not ever be privy to, but unfortunately we are, especially in this day and age. Mm-hmm. Like, I believe there are things about it we aren't supposed to see, but we see it all too much. So,
well, anything that usurps all of your energy, takes up all of your time, and consumes all of your mental and emotional space, of course, that's going to be destructive to you. But I think because of the mystery that surrounds death and the inevitability of it, I can understand why a person has a problem with it. I've struggled with death since I was about 11 years old, and I don't understand it. I don't understand the finality of it. I don't understand. I have concerns about the afterlife. I have issues with the way that nobody seems to know exactly what happens after death, or if something happens after death. So there are reasons for the anxiety over it. But the thing is, and I absolutely believe that can spark a war within yourself because of trying to deal with it, particularly if you have health issues or a questionable or concerning genetic health history. You know what I mean? Whereas like, my grandparents had it, my parents had it, my brothers and sisters, they had it. Some of them perished because of it, and you may be looking at, staring down the barrel of your own mortality. So I can understand the anxiety associated with that. We still have to find a way to get comfortable enough to be able to function on a regular basis. Not being able to sleep. It's interesting because some people deal with uncomfortable situations by sleeping all the time. You know what I mean? And then you have people like you who can't sleep at all. But that's the one thing about fear. It's hard to sleep when you're fearful.
Mm-hmm.
You sleep when you're relaxed. Even animals get that. Animals will not rest if they know that predators are around them. So they naturally know to stay alert because they have to be on go just in case they get chased and bitten and killed. So to prevent that, they will not rest until they are in familiar, safe company. Well, the human struggle has the predator inside of their mind. So and that may be keeping them up at night. And you are aware of the damage that lack of sleep can have on your body. At least you are aware of that. Some people think that it's okay. I've heard people promote not sleeping. Oh, you can sleep when you die. This shit that we got to get done. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Everything has to everything. Your body is a machine, but not a metal machine, not an electric machine. You can't just even if you drive a car for too long, it'll break down to the point where it can't be fixed. Same thing with any electric product or whatever. So the human body has to have nutrition, and it has to sleep because that is where the routine maintenance takes place. That's where the repairs happen when you sleep. Even if you exercise a lot, lift weights and all that, you'll never build muscle if you don't sleep well. You won't do it. You'll never be as strong as you want to be. Can't do it. You have to have sleep. All living things have to sleep. It's a rule. So, for you, I'm hoping, praying that you will be able to get an olive branch for this war that's going on inside of you, and be able to live again. Because the thing about when you have a war going on inside of you, you affect the people around you because they're worried about you as well. You're worried about yourself. They're worried about you. And you don't know who's unable to sleep because you're unable to sleep. I read somewhere.
And that's why I haven't told anybody. Two people know, but one hasn't taken anything serious, and the other one thinks about it a lot. So
yeah.
And now you all know.
Well, I
definitely have not told my son. I'm definitely not going to tell my son, my dad, my siblings, anybody like that. And here, let me add one layer of warning. So I was told, take melatonin and that should help you go to sleep. Well, I took it and now I have an allergic reaction to it. So yay to that.
Do you drink tea?
What'd you
I
say?
drink a lot of tea.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I'll be sending up prayers for you. I hope you be all right, because that's not nothing.
Thank you, Stacey. I appreciate that.
No, you got to get some sleep. You got to have your body heals when you sleep. You got to have a peace of mind. You know?
That's probably the only thing that's keeping me together is because I drink a lot of herbal tea. That's probably the only thing that's making me, and I'm not joking when I say that, even though I'm laughing as I'm saying it. In all honesty, I believe that's the only reason why I haven't collapsed is because I drink a lot of herbal tea and I try to eat healthy. I'm not saying I'm great at it, but I still try to consume a lot of raw food, produce, healthy nuts, those kind of things. But I drink a lot of herbal tea. And when I say herbal tea, I mean like I drink Ojibwa tea. I drink a lot of turmeric, drink a lot of dandelion root, those kind of teas. So I believe that's probably the only reason I'm walking and existing now.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
It's nasty, but it's good for you.
Yeah.
But you know what? After you get used to drink it, it starts tasting good because you know it's good for you. To me, I like to taste it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they, I'll be keeping you in my prayers. I keep everybody in prayer anyway. So now that I know what to pray about, you know, we don't always know what to pray about, but I keep everybody in prayer. And I love this topic because, son, you know I tell you if I don't like the topic. This topic is great help for me, so thank you.
You're welcome. I need you to get off the line. Get out of here.
Okay, I'm off the line. Y'all have a nice weekend. I'm gonna go outside.
Have a good one, Stacey.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
All right, peace. And thanks for calling in. I said, and thanks for calling in. I appreciate you.
Bye-bye. You too.
Okay, let's go to the poll. We got 123 votes on the poll. And it says, when you are going through a serious personal struggle, what are you most likely to do? 55%, the overwhelming majority said, keep it to myself and try to handle it. God damn.
Yeah, we all do. I think we have that.
You have a call from.
Yeah, a lot of people try to keep it to themselves. And it's sad that that's the number one, that seems to be the number one line of defense. I'll just keep it to myself. And that shit don't help shit. You know what I mean? But I get it. 20% says talk it out with a trusted friend. That's actually a good one. 16% says sleep all day or pray all day. I understand. And 8% said seek professional help or self-hurt. And what I mean by self-hurt is actually start beating yourself up or practicing reckless or destructive behavior. Like maybe Troy will turn down one of his devices so I can stop hearing my echo. Maybe. Just perhaps.
I just
had you on speaker. I didn't have you on any other device.
All I know is I heard myself before. I don't hear myself now. And I feel so good. It feels good.
You're a punk.
But I am. But like I was saying,
What's up, Troy?
But like I said, a lot of times people will do things like start like go on the set themselves up to be hurt and almost make it look like it was a mistake. Drive 130 miles on the expressway or highway or something like that. You know what I mean? ride a motorcycle, knowing that you're not that good at it. Ride a motorcycle. Drink heavily. You know, one thing about not being able to sleep, you drink enough, you'll sleep. But it won't be the good sleep. It won't be the helpful sleep, but you will. You'll pass the fuck out. Or drugs, you know, escaping into substance abuse is one of the things that people do to combat the war that's going on within themselves. Now, I don't know what war has ever been won by smoking weed, but it doesn't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, a lot of people suggest that. That is the craziest thing to me. But I've had people suggest, "Oh, you're not sleeping. You need to eat an edible." Now, I don't smoke. I drink wine and a cocktail here and there around a birthday or some holidays or something. But why would you suggest somebody who's not consistently using substances, hey, go eat an edible? That's the answer. Go smoke some weed. That's the answer. Like, what? No.
Well, because first of all, that may be the way that they cope. And because they know you don't really get down like that, they figure it'll be a quick fix. And they may not really realize that you have a war going on within yourself, and that it's not going to, and those battles aren't going to be won by one event. So they may not understand. And people say things, they say a lot of things when they really don't understand what's going on. They may be trying to help, honestly. They may be genuinely trying to help you, but they don't know what kind of help to offer because they may not understand how bad the condition is. So of course, yeah, they'll tell you to take a drink. Oh yeah, man, you need a drink. You know, you need something to calm your nerves. They don't really realize where the nerves are coming from. They don't know how deep the roots go into the soil. They don't, you know, they don't understand. You know, I saw something about driving the other day. What they was talking about, if your brakes should fail, make sure you hit like a light pole, something on the streets, because those things are meant to collapse. Don't hit a tree, because the roots in the tree, like, you ain't gonna move the tree. You just gonna move yourself into heaven. So if your brakes should fail and you can't stop, you know, if you have to run into something in order to be able to slow down or whatever, they say hit like a light pole or a mailbox or something, you know, a meter, a parking meter, something like that, because those things are meant to give way, but also be able to slow you down a little bit. But a tree has been planted and the roots have dug deep, and it's not, the tree is going to win. The light pole will submit, but the tree will win. So metaphorically, I thought about that, and I was like, you know, on your path to redemption or on your path to destruction, you know, we often need something in the way. So when people, you know, to either something in the way to either stop us or push us forward. So then your people telling you to take a drink or eat an edible or smoke a J or some shit like that. They're really only trying to act as the light pole instead of the tree, because they don't understand. They don't understand how fast you may be moving or how hard it is to stop the car. I'm not sure if I made.
You know, first and foremost, Kim, I'm sorry about the incident you had with the bat. You know, because I'm gonna let you know from the door. If there was a bat in my apartment, I would have had a bat. I would have hit for the cycle that day as a baseball player. I would have hit a single, a double, a triple, and a home run. I would have beat the shit out of that bat. I'm letting you know from the door. From the door, I would have lost my mind. But the first thing I would have done, if I would have seen a bat, I would have called the SPCA.
It's like 1:00 and 1:30 in the morning. I couldn't call anybody. I
I would
wanted
have
to
called
call
the
the
cops or
police.
the
I was so
SPCA.
mad.
I would have called them or the SPCA. I called them for a garden snake in their house, and they came in. They came in. They came and got it out. I said, yes, I am a bitch. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless. Be safe out there with them. Be safe. You ought to fuck you out. You damn right. I don't know if it's a garden snake or whatever type of snake it is. I don't trust. I don't
So what
trust
did you
shit.
say when I said I wanted to call the police? I don't think they're gonna come for that. I said, I know these now.
You should have called their ass. They would came in and got that shit right out, or they would have called the SPCA. The SPCA is gonna call 24/7 for real. You know, but the thing that you were just talking about, man. You know, like I always tell you, son. Sometimes God put things around you that call me, or you put something and you stand in this damn chat or on your live stream that's resonating with me right now, because I fight that fucking shit every day, man. You know, and when you in your own space, the only thing you got time to do is to think about shit that you might have fucked up on, or shit that people fucked up with you. And you try to think like, what can I do to fix it, or what did I do to fuck it up, or what did that person do to continuously add to my fucking strife? You know, and it pushes you to the direction of a dark side. We talked before about the dark side of situations you can go to. You know, and like yesterday when I was telling you, the show prevented me from doing something stupid, and it did. You know, I wanted to take both my hands and wrap my hands around somebody's neck and like take every inch of breath off that person. And don't give a fuck and sit there and call the cops. Yeah, I'm here. I did it. You don't need no first 48, no forensic files. You don't need none of that shit. I fucking did it. And they deserve it. Because when you got a good heart and you giving and you can and you understanding and you forgiving, and people take that shit for fucking granted, and you see that shit when you going through your own emotional turmoil, and people can't feel your pain, that shit fucking hurts you. Especially not just when it's the person that you've been involved with, but it's even your own fucking children, your adult children. And you get to the point where you be like, I don't even want to see them. I want to talk to them. I'll block them. I don't want to talk. Don't come worrying the fuck about me when I block you. Don't worry about when you don't talk to me for days. Because you ain't worried about when I need you. When I'm sitting up here screaming inside, I need you now, like the Smokey Norfolk song, and you don't hear that shit. But now when you think something's wrong, now you want to come running. No, don't call me. Don't bother me. Let me deal with this situation on my own. Fuck you. The only person I talk to about the shit I go to is you, son. I don't want to talk to nobody else because I don't trust other people's opinions, and I want an unbiased opinion. I want somebody to tell me, yeah, you fucked that one up, Troy. I don't want nobody to be on my fucking side. I don't want that. I need somebody to say, if I fucked up, you fucked up. I want somebody to say, yeah, that person fucked up. You know, because if you on my side, then that's not benefiting me. That's not benefiting me at all. Because at the end of the day, then you're nothing but a yes man to your friend or to your brother. I don't want no yes people around me. I want somebody to say, you know what, man, I don't think you should do that. You know, I went one time. I was going through it so much during COVID. I did go the route of eating an edible, and I've never smoked weed in my life. But lo and behold, I didn't know that you wasn't supposed to eat the whole edible.
Oh, Troy.
I was listening, boy. Let me tell you something. I was on Space Mountain. I went to every planet. I can tell you how it feels to walk around the rings of Saturn.
It is the worst feeling. I tried an edible for my 50th birthday, And it was the worst thing. First of all, it tastes like hell. And then it just was, oh God, it was horrible. And I was like, why would anybody want to do this? Why would you want to do this on a regular basis? It lasted for like the horror, everything bad about it lasted for like 4 days. I was like, I never want to do this again in life.
What time's mine by? Because mine lasted for like a week and a half. I'll let you know from the door. If I was able, yes, if I had on it depends, I would have been cool with just sleeping. Because that thing took me, I had inner conversations with myself and ancestors. That shit was rough. You know, and I had every emotion. I had every emotion, every weather. Every weather was inside my body. It was raining, stormy, fog, sunny. I had every climate inside my body from that motherfucking damn terrible. I will never do that again. You know, and I take pride in the fact that I never smoked weed.
You should.
You know,
you should take
the butt part of this. I've been to an even darker side where I got so stressed out, I got so depressed to the point where it was even suicidal and I didn't give a fuck about life. And sometimes I'm fighting that demon now. I would take, when it got to my worst part of it was taking 15 packs of the over-the-counter Tylenol PMs and washing it down with Tanqueray and port wine. And I was taking so much of it that I would just take them, drink, and put it underneath the damn bed because I was that fucking deep dug in. So it woke me up one day, and I was like, there has to be a reason why God got me here because I should be going by now. I didn't drunk shitloads of alcohol. I done took a shitload of Tylenol PMs, and when the Tylenol PMs was going in the store, I said, give me 5 packs of NyQuil caps. And then when that was going, I seen my mom was taking morphine. I said, let me take these 8 morphine pills. Because I wanted to really take me to the point where I was like, fuck life. I'm done. This was in between when me and son wasn't even talking. I haven't talked to son in maybe in years.
Yeah.
Or even when we was talking, I wouldn't tell him that. Because sometimes you don't want people to know that pain you feeling. You can sit up here and falsify your pain so much around other people with laughter. You can laugh the hardest you want to in front of other people and enjoy your day around other people until you're in your own space. Or even when that laughter is gone after you finish laughing, it goes right to where the fuck you hurting at.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that if you express your pain or if you tell people what's going on with you, can you still consider the war within you to be private?
Even when you express it, it's still it's not private no more, but it's still there. You know, you always hear the whole slogan, let go and let God. You know, the spiritual side tells you, people tell you that the spiritual side will tell you, let go and let God. But the human side, the human anatomy, and the brain that you have won't allow you to let go of certain situations. And even when you do want to let go and let God, it's still there. You cannot talk to the person the whole fucking time for 3 or 4 days, and that shit will still be there. Or,
okay.
You know, I'm going to tell you this, son, and girls. I sat down in my apartment on Tuesday, and I said, and I talked to you one time that day, son. And if I ain't talked to you that whole day, my phone didn't ring the whole phone. I thought something was wrong with my fucking phone. Not one bill collector, not one child, not my wife, even though we separated, not shit. And I'm like, I had to look out the window. I I woke up and looked out the window like, damn, is it over?
Mm.
Because I was so fucking shocked that not one fucking call all day. You know, and it's the hard part of that fucks me up about that is that the ones that you brought up, the ones that you planted the seed in the soil, to create them and to bring them up in this world, and they sit back and they don't remember. You remember them now because that's what you want to remember, but you don't remember nothing as a father, as a man that I've done to make sure that you were okay and to make sure that you was here. I told my daughter and my son, I told my little son the other day, I said, you don't remember having a seizure and you was turning purple and your dad had to give you mouth to mouth to keep you here. And the cops snatched you out of my hand and rushed you to children's hospital. I told my daughter in the bed, I said, you don't remember when you had a major seizure, when I took you and your brother to summer school. And I was in an ambulance ready to beat the fucking shit out the ambulance worker because you seized for 12 minutes. And he didn't know you were still seizing. And I fell out on the fucking hospital floor crying like a bitch with 5 security guards around me. And they thinking they're going to have to 302 me because I'm thinking my daughter going to die. You don't know that shit. But when you turn your back on me and I need you the most, y'all don't take your mind in that fucking place. Just a voice. Just I love you. Or I understand you. Or I feel you.
Okay.
They don't know that.
So what I'm talking about when I say, I think that even if you tell somebody about a private war that you're battling, I think it can still be private. The private part is it may be hard, it may be easier for you to tell somebody the more obvious things that are going on with you, but you may still have a part of your story or your journey that you keep to yourself because maybe you're not ready to release that. You know what I mean? It's like when some artists release an album and they still have tracks that they didn't release on the album that maybe they can use for an EP later or maybe even for the next album or release of singles. You understand what I mean? So
Right.
So you can still be you can even if you don't understand exactly what's going on with yourself, so you just tell people what you know, I believe that war in yourself can still remain private because you may not know how to express the other things that are happening.
Yeah, but it's not even so much to express the other things because it might be that you don't want to release the other things.
Exactly, and that's the part that still keeps it a private war. You know, so you may feel like, all right, so these people so this person or these people or these things can help with this part of it, but this part over here, I got to keep this to myself because they ain't ready for that, and I ain't ready for them to be ready for that. You understand what I mean? Like people who have been gay have gone through this shit. People who have been terminally ill have gone through this shit. People who have been severely clinically depressed have gone through this shit. You know, it's not always easy to release the whole album. It's not always easy to release the entire transcripts because you don't know if you're able to trust the reader with everything that you're putting out. And honestly, you may not trust yourself.
True.
You know, and I hate to do this, and please, nobody take it the wrong way. But what's the difference between a person that's hiding their pedophilia and a person that's hiding their homosexuality or a person that's hiding their feelings of inadequacy? What's the difference? With all three of them,
not much of a difference, but it's still secrecy.
It is still secrecy. But the what they all have in common is that they all come out. They all they all show themselves to somebody, but they show themselves in places where they feel safest. Even if those safe spaces aren't even all that safe. Now I said, please don't take this the wrong way, because I'm not here to shelter or come to any mutual understanding with anybody who would harm children or exploit women or anything. I'm not with all that. You know, rape, incest, pedophilia. No, I'm. But nonetheless, I understand how the human mind works, and I know what it's like. I understand what it's like to hide something that's going on. You know, I've always been kind of like a hypochondriac. You know, thinking I was sick. You know what I mean? Growing up in the AIDS era was not conducive to having good feelings consistently. You know, going through that epidemic and all of that. So there have been plenty of times when I thought like I was sick or whatever, but the most recent time was around 2016. And I was convinced that my tongue was coated and that was indicative of a bigger problem. I convinced myself that I was sick. Healthy as a fucking horse. Like this is at the time when I'm working out just about every day. I'm even getting cut. The stomach was, the stomach was not one. You know what I'm saying? And all of this shit. But I'm like, cancer. My tongue coated. Convinced myself. I was dealing with this chick at the time, and she was like, coated tongue. I know fucking coated tongue. And she Googled coated tongue. Now, me being the Google person, I didn't Google. I didn't Google the images of a look. I didn't Google the images of the coated tongue, only the
symptoms.
Not the symptoms, but the what will happen to you, the diagnosis of your condition if you have a coated tongue. So she showed me the images of the coated tongue. She said, "Now stick your tongue out." She was like, look at theirs, look at yours. And I was like, so now what this should have done is convince me that, look, nothing is wrong with you. You've been doing this hypochondriac shit since forever. It's like you just can't hold on to good health or good feelings and shit. That's what it should have done. It should have said, listen, this is proof positive that you be overreacting when you stressed out and when shit ain't going right. But no, all it did was eliminate that problem. So now I can concentrate on another problem that's going on. Like, okay, maybe I don't have cancer because of the coated tongue. So, okay, I don't have stomach cancer. What about the other ones? You can't make it out of this world without cancer. Show me somebody who's done it. It's murder or cancer. That's it. You grew up in the hood. You either gotta get killed or you gotta die of cancer. That's it. I mean, the proof is everywhere. I live in Philly. People, we ain't got nothing but cancer patients and murder victims. So yeah, that private war with yourself. And I ain't gonna lie, I felt stupid for even telling her. But it was building up too much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was building up too much. And I know, like, I'm the type of man I can convince anybody to feel better about themselves and to understand their condition and all of that kind of shit. That don't mean I can do it myself. You know what I mean? I recognize that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's easy for me to advise you, but that's why when people be like, "Who are you to give advice?" I'm like, nobody. But I'm not certified to fix a bicycle, but I bet you I can fix the bitch. Same
That's
thing.
crazy. I can make everybody else feel good and get past their stuff emotionally, but I can't get past my own shit emotionally.
But that's exactly how it is. The best advice you can give people the best advice ever, then look in the mirror and be like, I can't take that advice.
Well, that's why I don't subscribe to, you don't have the qualifications to tell somebody else what to do if you're not doing it yourself. You ain't got to fucking do. I don't have to be doing what you're doing in order to understand what you're doing. I got eyes, I got ears, I have a brain. You know what I mean? You don't know what I may have done before, what I may have gone through before, or who I may have helped, or where I may have worked, or what I might have gotten paid for, or have been encouraged to do. It's not always about what you're doing yourself. Either you can contribute or you can't. Just like somebody in the chat earlier asked if they could only listen to this program or could they actually contribute. I'm thinking that's actually a valid question because if it's not said that you can just jump in or whatever or even call on the phone, you may not know. But I'm thinking okay, none of y'all have to. Each one of y'all have the potential to have a platform of your own, but you might not have a platform of your own. Does that mean that you can't contribute to any platform that you may participate in or that you may frequent? No, you don't have to do it yourself in order to understand how it's done. Not at all. So, yeah, we get caught up in that too much. Like, don't tell me what to do if you ain't doing if you ain't doing the right thing yourself. Like, okay, all right.
Yeah, because I tell people every day about getting proper sleep on a regular basis. That's part of some of my work is telling people, health stuff. And I talk about sleep all the time, but here I am. Haven't had sleep in a week.
Well, you might be you might need to put it out there so that somebody else can help you. You know what I mean? And you can't close it. One thing about fighting a private war with yourself is that you close yourself off to anybody else being able to help you. And sometimes we do that arrogantly. Like, ain't nobody gonna be able to do this shit. I got this. No, you don't got this. That's why you're fighting a private war with yourself and you're losing. Getting your ass kicked every day. You know what I mean? Talk about, oh yeah, I'm gonna get them next time. The next time is now. But piggybacking off of what I just said, that's like somebody telling you, well, I'm locked out of my house. You ain't locked out of your house, so how can you tell me how to get back in my house? Because I got a key, you dumbass. But when your mind is fucked up, logic ain't within you. You're not thinking logically or understanding logically. Your shit is fucked up. You're looking for a safe space to go and you can't find it. You're looking for a comfortable place to be able to sit or lay, and you ain't finding it.
I think that's a show in and of itself because I don't think a lot of people really understand that when you are in a place of angst, it is hard to think straight. And people think that means something like, oh, it's a fire, or, oh, we've had a bad storm. And it could be the simplicity of, I need to go to the bathroom and I can't go right now. And I'm doing everything to hold it, but I can't think straight because I have to go to the bathroom. Or I'm locked out of my house, so I'm in panic mode because I can't get into my house. and I can't think straight. I don't think a lot of people really take into consideration, well, one, how we function. When we have the least little bit of something that's panic to us, because for someone else it may not seem like a moment of panic, but for us in that moment it is us. And for somebody who's watching out, it's probably the worst thing in that moment. It feels like the worst thing on earth.
Yeah,
and they
man.
can't think straight.
It's ugly.
And I don't think people, even like with the bad thing, it took me out. It made me have a complete and total meltdown, because there was such a level of fear there that I did not even know existed inside me, that I was in straight panic mode and I could not think straight until I calmed down.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think people would consider that the least little bit of panic, we don't think straight. We lose a piece of us in those moments.
Animals have run out into the street and got ran over by a car because they were running from another animal chasing them.
A deer in headlights.
Well, different. It's a little different from a deer in the headlights, because they ain't even running from nobody. Them motherfuckers just can't. I don't know what the fuck is up with deer. Yeah, I just don't fucking like. They see the shit coming and they don't see the shit coming. If a cat is running from a pit bull or some shit like that, the cat is not looking left and right. He's looking straight, trying to get the fuck away. And then he becomes road pizza. And now the dog is like, damn, kitty, fuck. It's a good thing I ain't catch up to you. I'd be dead too. But yeah, it is. It's a tough situation. It is. It's a tough situation fighting a war within. But if we don't get nothing out of this show, know this: there is somebody out there that you can talk to, and it will help you to talk to them, even if they don't give you the answers that you looking for, or even if you're not looking for answers. You free yourself by freeing yourself. So you got to get it off of your heart. You got to get it off of your chest. You have to get it out of your mind. You have to be able, because once you put it out there in the universe owns it. When you keep it all to yourself, you keep everything that goes along with it. That's the stress. That's the depression. That's the hurt. That's the anger. That's the anxiety. That's all of the negativity. You get to keep all of that. When you put it out there, somebody else has the ability to catch it and fix it. Sure, in your mind, you're thinking that, yeah, but they can fuck it up even worse. No, they really can't. You know what I mean? You can't blackmail a person that puts all of their business out there. How you gonna blackmail me when I already told everybody everything? You blackmail a person with your people get blackmailed with their secrets. I'm gonna show everybody this picture, or I'm gonna tell your wife you've been doing this. You better go tell your wife your goddamn self. Hey, but for some people, that's a fate worse than death for people to know. There's nothing you've done in this world that nobody knows about. Nothing. Somebody knows. There's nothing in the world you've done that's that private. Remember the other week when I asked you ever got caught masturbating? Proof positive.
Yes, the album, I remember.
I'm just saying, that's proof positive that there's nothing that you have ever done that absolutely nobody knows about. You know what I mean? It's gonna come out. Here you are, looking for an outlet, a little bit of pleasure, some comfort. And look what happens. Door fling open, like, hey, what the hell? That's supposed to be my job. You know how.
That made me want to fight the air.
I can't even pleasure myself without motherfuckers coming in, busting in my room. They ain't knock, they ain't do nothing. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. Fuck them up. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. My dick not even hard no more because of you. Because of you. With that, now, I don't know if this is true, but I've been told that you can't masturbate and cry at the same time. I think differently, but that's what I've been told. That's what I've been told. I don't know, but I've been told. I don't know, but I've been told. Jerk off hands are made of gold. Jerk off hands are made of gold. But I'm just telling y'all what I've been told. I'm just telling y'all what I've been told. Neil in the chat says, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Would anybody kneel? You got why are you crying? Why?
The shit that happens on this fucking channel.
Always takes a turn that just
The shit.
goes into real weirdness all the time.
Neil said, my hands are 24 karat. What the fuck? What's up, Mama Latina? Sure, Horsey. All right. Now, somebody's going to wage a private war with themselves to try to cry, and masturbate at the same time. I just can't fuck this shit. I just can't do it. It's like trying to wiggle my ears. I just can't fucking do it. I can't do it. It's like
what is happening now? What are we doing?
Look, we about to get the fuck on up out of here. The only reason I even did this overtime is because the first 10, 15 minutes of the show, my mic wasn't on. This shit was fucking crazy. None of y'all was here to tell me that nobody can hear me. I was spitting that crack too. This shit was fucking crazy. This shit took all day to get off the ground. All right, we're gonna end that here. Listen,
What a way to end it.
That's right.
I know.
The end is
you got real quiet, so I'm really surprised. Like, what?
With your laughter enough, I'm just gonna sit back and just let you get it out.
That shit is yo.
And I'm gonna get quiet. The only way I can get quiet when you go there and tell, I'll be like, I gotta let her laugh, but that takes you to a whole different place.
Man.
Now the masturbating and crying is up there on the same list of
jerk and cry.
Jerk and cry.
Rub one out. Wait. No, here we go. It's either jerk and cry or rub one out, And dry your eyes. Dry your eyes and rub it out. You don't have to cry.
Go on and get some merch. Go on and get some merch that says jerk and cry on it. That's
Yo,
all right. I'll put it together for you. Don't worry. Don't worry.
You don't have to.
there you go. You don't have to cry. Put the lotion on your hands. And brother, be strong. Sister, dry your eyes. The fuck, This shit here, boy. This shit here. All right, yo, I gotta do these birthday shout outs. What the fuck, man? All right, listen. Kim, Troy, Stacy, appreciate y'all calling in. It was a good time as usual. In advance, I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming through. Thanks for participating. I appreciate y'all. Anybody that's here that's new or people that have been checking out the show, never subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. Let me do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious August 23rd, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Alba Parade. Happy birthday to you and Lashana Cooper, Gerald Stokes, Tarvis Smith, my cousin Sharon Marks, Regina Bramo Young, Janeri Bayanelis Castillo, Tanisha Charity. Come on. All right. Vermel Robinson. And that's it. First day of Virgo. Virgos, what's up? All the virgins, stand up. Stand up. It's your time. Leo's had a good season, had a good run. You know what I mean?
Glad that Leo season is over.
Oh, let me turn this.
First of all, shut your mouth, Troy. You shut up.
Shut
it up right now.
Turn this fucking mic off. Turn this fucking mic off. Hey, you gotta go.
Yeah, because Leo season is forever.
Anybody
So
trying to hear that shit.
you just shut up.
No, I mean,
That's hater talk. That's all it is. Just hater talk.
keep that shit up, and we're gonna extend the season till September 15th, well after Labor Day. I don't give a fuck. All right, I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all and anyone else out there who was born on this glorious August 23rd, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn to rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, the war within is probably worse than the war around you. The war around you, you know that there are going to be lots of casualties. You know that there are going to be lots of bodies dropping. You know that there's a particular goal in mind. With the world, with the war within you, the war inside of you, you may not even know what the end game is. You may not know how the war started, and you may not know how to end it, and you're not even sure how to go about getting peace or calling a ceasefire. You know, this is not Palestine versus Israel or Ukraine versus Russia or any of those things. This is something personal to you. But until you get that war within you in the right place, you're never really going to have the peace that you seek and that you probably deserve. But just know that your secrets are your sickness. Your secrets are your sicknesses, and your main goal should be able to. It should be to be able to get well. You want to heal. You want to be treated. You want the pain to subside. And there's no worse pain than the pain that you feel inside that you don't think that anybody else can help you with. Not a Tylenol, not any ibuprofen, naproxen, any of that shit. Not even morphine. But I think it's important for everybody to be able to trust somebody and trust that somebody will be there for them and help them out, even if you have to give them the information in small increments. It is up to you. You have the full right to reveal as much as you want to and save the rest for a better time. And it's okay to vet people in your life to make sure that they 100% before you start giving even 75% of your information. So once again, Troy and Kim, I want to thank you for calling in. I appreciate y'all. We will be back on time tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. I promise nothing is going to get in the way tomorrow. It's going to be all right. I hope y'all have a really great day today.
Have a good one.
No doubt. So I holler back at y'all.
Peace, everybody. Stay safe.
All right. Peace. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. That's all I ask of you. What up, Brown Eyes Dunlap? The underdog, Federico, Montori. Okay. All right. I'll holler back at y'all, man. Peace.